Welcome to this tutorial that explains how to record a macro that formats monthly information received into an income statement. You do need to be using Excel to create this macro. I have used Excel for Windows to build this tutorial. Where the instructions are different for Mac, I will mention the difference. Just a note about those differences between Excel for Windows and Excel for Mac. Most instructions will be the same for both operating systems. Where the Mac is different, I will put an Apple logo in the right lower corner of the screen as a signal that that slide refers only to Mac users. So now to work on our macro. Here we have a worksheet that has the monthly information we need to format into an income statement. The original worksheet received is on the left side. What we want the worksheet to look like is on the right. Before we begin to build the macro, you will need to add the Developer tab to your Excel ribbon if you do not already have it. The first step to add the Developer tab is to click on File on the ribbon in Excel. Just a note, this is slightly different in Excel for Macs, so I will show the Mac version in just a minute. Next, click on Options. Click on Customize ribbon on the left side of the box. On the right side of the screen under Customize the ribbon, check the box for Developer. Then click OK. The Mac instructions are slightly different than the instructions I just went through for Windows. The Mac different slides will have that Apple logo in the right corner. So to add the Developer tab in Excel for Mac, click on Excel in the ribbon. In the drop-down box, click on Preferences. In the Excel Preferences dialog box, click on View. The next step in Excel for Mac, in the View dialog box, check Developer tab. Now you have the Developer tab. Now that we have the Developer tab, we are almost ready to begin. There is one more thing we need to do before we can begin. In the Developer ribbon, click on Macro Security and select the second option, Disable all macros with notification. The first option will not allow any macros to be run, so that won't work. The third option is more for when you are working for a company where macro files can be digitally signed. The fourth option is dangerous and not recommended, so be sure to select Disable all macros with notification. We do have a slightly different process for Excel for Mac users. If you are using a Mac, click on Excel in the ribbon. In the drop-down box, click on Preferences. In the Excel Preferences dialog box, click on Security. In the Security dialog box, check Disable all macros with notification. Okay, so now we are going to start building our macro. Be sure you have an extra copy of the worksheet you are working on because there is no undo feature when using a macro. We are going to follow this list of steps as I have listed them on the next 3 slides when we record our macro to format a monthly income statement. You can download the complete list of steps at http://tiny.cc/macro01. And here are the last set of formatting steps we are going to be using. Again, you can download the complete list of steps at http://tiny.cc/macro01. Start by opening the file named income-statement-01.xlsx in Excel. We are going to begin recording the macro to perform the formatting steps next. Put your cursor in cell A1. Go to the Developer tab and click on Record Macro. In the dialog box that appears, name your macro using your first and last name connected by an underscore. Here I named mine format_income statement, but name yours using your first and last name. Don't use spaces, but instead use underscores. Use the drop-down box under Store Macro In to choose Personal Macro Workbook. You can add a description if you wish. then click OK. Now the macro is going to record everything you do in Excel until you stop the macro recording process. We are now going to be performing those formatting steps we listed in earlier slides. We are going to perform the formatting steps next in the income statement worksheet we just opened. Again, you can download the complete list of steps at http://tiny.cc/macro01. Select the first 4 rows in the worksheet by clicking in the row box with the 1 and holding down the left mouse button as you drag down to include rows 1 through 4. Now let go of the left mouse button. Right-click and choose Insert in the drop-down box. Type the top 3 rows of your income statement, including Blue Giraffe Company in cell A1, Income Statement in cell A2, and for month ended in cell A3. To insert a row between cost of goods sold and operating expenses, select row 7, then right-click and choose Insert in the drop-down box. Type the word gross margin in cell A7, then enter the formula for gross margin in cell B7, which is equal B5 minus B6, which is revenues minus cost of goods sold. Point to the cells rather than typing them in. Type the words operating income in cell A9. Next, add the formula for operating income in cell B9, which is equal B7 minus B8, gross margin minus operating expenses. Again, point to the cells rather than typing them in. Select cells B5, B7, and B9 by clicking on them while holding down the Control key or the Command key for Mac users. Then, on the Home tab, choose Accounting Format, which is the $, and then click Decrease Decimal until there are 0 decimals. Select cells B6 and B8 by clicking on them while holding down the Control key. It is the Command key for Mac users. Then, on the Home tab, choose Comma Format, which is the comma sign, and then click Decrease Decimal until there are 0 decimals. Click in cell B6 and click on the Borders button. In the drop-down menu that appears, choose Bottom Border. Click in cell B9 and click on the Borders button. In the drop-down menu that appears, choose Top Line with a double bottom border. Select cell A1 and B1 and click on the Merge and Center button. Repeat the Merge and Center step for cells A2 and B2 together, and then A3 and B3 together. Now that we are done with the formatting steps, go back to the Developer tab and choose Stop Recording. The macro is done. Save the formatted Excel file as income statement 01done.xlsm. Note that you are doing a Save As, and it is the macro-enabled workbook format that you want. See the next screen before clicking Save. Again, you need to save the file as an Excel macro-enabled workbook, so pick the file type that ends with .xlsm. That M means that this workbook can run macros. If you do not save the file as an Excel macro-enabled workbook, your macro will not be saved. We are going to test our macro on another month's unformatted worksheet. Open the file named Income Statement 02.xlsx. In the Income Statement 02 file, select cell A1 and then go to the Developer tab. Click on Macros and select your formatted income statement macro. Yours will be named as your first and last name. Then click on Run. That's it. Every month you would need to run the macro to format that income statement when you receive the file, and it will take just a few seconds to do a job that would otherwise take several minutes. That's it. We are done. This video was created and narrated by Dr. Wendy Tietz. Have a great day.